Hi, I'm going to read you guys a book today, and it is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. What do you guys think this book is going to be about? I don't know. Let's see. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard. And by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Have you guys ever had a very bad day? A terrible, horrible day? At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. And Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. When you guys have a bad day, do you think that you could just move to Australia? In the carpool, Miss Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Have you guys ever been in the car when you've been squished or been in a seat that you didn't want to sit in? At school, Miss Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone and it lands in Australia. Have you guys ever had such a bad day that you got mad at your friends? Oh my goodness. What did you guys argue about with your friends? Did you tell them that you wanted them to move to Australia?
Mommy.
There was 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of a jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Mr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week, he said, and I'll fix it. Next week, I said, I'm going to be in Australia. Have you guys been to the dentist? Have you ever had a cavity? On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot. And while we were waiting for my mom to get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then I started crying because of the mud. Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back to the car and scolded me for being muddy and for fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody. No one even answered me. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose the white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose the red ones with white stripes. I chose the blue ones with red stripes. But the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy a plain white pair. But they couldn't make me wear them. No way. Have you guys been to a shoe store and got new shoes? Did you ever have to buy shoes that you didn't want? When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with the copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I might have called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Oh my goodness. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV. I hate kissing. Do you guys ever have to eat lima beans at dinner? Or a vegetable? Or something that you don't like? My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes, my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep. But the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are just like that. So have you guys ever had a terrible, very bad day? His mom said, even in Australia. So why do you think that he wanted to move to Australia?
Mom.
Have you guys ever had such a bad day that you wish you could just skip that day or redo it?
Mom.
Did you enjoy that book? All right.